popped up on your thing.
It's not gonna take long.
Yeah. So,
Yup. Get it up. Ready? All right. Shalom. We the real Hebrew Israelites. Come in week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to prophesy the upcoming kingdom to come. Yasharallah, also known in Israel. But before we start, we're going to give all infinite honors, praises, and glory to who?
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Habakkuk.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of great male son who rule and teach well to the other Achaemenid four winds.
Shalom.
I can be almost out of here, man. Shalom. And what we're going to go into tonight is basically going into prophecy, right? We're going to go into the vision that the Lord has put upon the earth, because the Lord has put a division upon the earth. All right. If you bring up one topic in America, you're going to get 4 different answers. If you bring up different opinions and different trains of thought, you're going to get a plethora of returns in that train of thought. Okay. And this is all spiritual, and it's all scriptural at the end of the day. The Lord don't want everybody getting along. He doesn't want everybody being howdy-doody and just meshing together. He wants the end to be confused. He wants the end to be truth-based, right? So if you're not dealing with the truth, you're going to run into different disagreements. You're going to run into different trains of thoughts. You're going to run into different ideologies. And the list goes on. We're going to open up with what's one you had out? That's Matthew 12.
Yeah, come on. This is Matthew 12.
And trumpet.
This is Matthew 12 and 25. And Yahweh knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation.
Okay. And America is definitely a kingdom that's that's set against itself, because when you had the last presidential election, it was the most amount of votes ever received by presidential candidates on both sides. Okay. The losing side had enough votes to where they would have been the winner in any other presidential election. Okay, so these are people divided. These are people with different thoughts, different trains of thoughts, different religious beliefs, different financial beliefs. All right, just different in a whole smorgasbord of things, man. Okay.
And it reads, it says, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand.
So in these divisions, in the spirit that America is being run in, the Lord is telling you that that's not how a kingdom that's set up to last drives. So the Lord is clearly telling you that the way that you and your government and train of thought among the people goes is going to ultimately falter. It's going to ultimately implode on itself. And why? Because when you bring up religion, you have 10 different answers. You got Christianity, you got atheism, you got Islam, you have Commissionism, Egyptianism. You have all of these different atheism. You have all of these different trains of thoughts and all of these different belief systems within one group of people, within one nation, one so-called nation, because nations actually go into races of people. But the way that Esau uses new speech, he uses the word nation to go into a country. Okay, and the Lord, he's different. The Lord doesn't rock like that. A nation is when you go into different, what the word called races. Okay, these small things is the reason that this kingdom is not going to be able to stand. Go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew 12 and 26. And if Satan cast off Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? Right, and what you see is you got what? You got America is going to, so America is going to get strong. All right, which is they're in the same genealogy. They're Edomites, according to the scriptures, the so-called white man. All right, you got Russia that's going against America. All right, you have them gutter rats over in Israel that's going against America. All right, so that's Satan going against Satan. They're going against one another. All right, because they're coming after they're liking them Satan, and they're pushing the image of the beast. All right, and it says, how shall then his kingdom stand? And you can see right now about Satan going against Satan, Esau against Esau, Edomites against Edomites. All right, this kingdom is crumbling, it's falling. All right, it's being torn down, it's being made known to the world. All right, who this devil really is according to the scriptures.
Right. That's right, man. It also goes to show you, like backing the brother up, that you get 3 or 4 Americans in one room, you get 3 or 4 answers on one question. These people are not mentally, and spiritually, and socio-economically on the same mind frame. Right? These people, you bring out one topic, you're gonna get 10 different answers. And that's called division. And the Lord, He's created a division, man. At the end of the day, you can't get around it. He's creating the division. You finished with that scripture?
I got another, yeah, I got the next one. This is Matthew 10:34.
That's it.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword.
And that goes into the times that we're living in, man. That goes into the end times, right? That really didn't apply for the times when he was walking the earth. That goes into the times that we're in now. You bring up Trump's indictment. You have people on one end of the fence and people on the other end of the fence. You bring up these different spillages of toxic waste into the rivers. And you can bring up these different explosions and these different destructions of food plants that's going on throughout the region. These different catastrophes of power plants. You're going to get 10 different answers. Nobody is on the same page. And this is all supposed to be one kingdom. Okay? This is all supposed to be one kingdom under democracy. But democracy doesn't really open up it doesn't really open up the area for one kingdom in one place, because you got different people voting on different things. When we was in power in Yasharala, we didn't deal with democracy. We deal with something called monarchy. So we had a righteous leader leading over us, and what he told us to do, that's what we did. Straight the fuck up. Right? You're the King David. Nobody was voting against his different beliefs, his different decrees. Okay? America and Esau came with democracy. And democracy brings the people, all right, the lower level, the people that really don't know shit, they're able to vote their low-level mind frames into a governmental structure that's being run, that's being recognized by the world. It's off. Okay? These people are off, man.
Matthew 10:35. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Because everybody got different belief systems. Everybody got different answers to a certain question. What you say, brother? Yes, yes, that's right. Everybody got different opinions. And everybody's opinion in America is supposed to be recognized. Okay? So when you have all of these different opinions and all of them supposed to be recognized and all of them supposed to be different truths, you're going to end up with basically what you call confusion. Let's just be honest, man. That's fucking confusion, man. Yeah, bro.
Just a definition of the word variance. So just from Google, it says the fact or quality of being different, divergent, inconsistent. All right, variation, a discrepancy, a dissimilarity, a conflict. All right, contrast, conflicting, incompatible.
Hey, and that's going into different thoughts, different trains of thoughts, different ways of governing. All right. You might have X amount of Americans that believe in this way of government, X amount of Americans that believe in this way of government. But then at the end of the day, you don't have two that come into agreement with the other. And you know what that's going to end up causing? It's going to end up causing problems. It's going to end up causing wars. It's going to end up causing disruptions throughout America as herself as a whole that has no outside influence to cripple her. Now, can you give me, to back up what we just went through, could you give me 2 Ezra 6:24?
Are you getting that?
Give Get yours.
Okay.
Break it down, bro.
It's Isaiah 19 and verse 2. Right, and it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Beautiful.
Like Edomite against Edomite, Democrat versus Republican. I say male against female. He's setting America against itself. America govern the whole world. He's setting the world against itself. Right, and it says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Which, damn, I already explained it, but America against itself, the whole globe. Right, it says, in the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof. Like all these systems, all this shit that Esau had set.
Democracy
It's
going to fail because it's going to have too many discrepancies. Everything is going to be an argument. Everything is going to be something that's disputed amongst the people that's supposed to be one. How are you going to be one people when everybody have different trains of thoughts? And when you live in America, and I bring this out, and I'm going to keep on bringing it out until you motherfuckers start blowing y'all shit. America has more guns than it does people. So when these people come to these different disagreements and they come to these different crossroads, they're going to ultimately solve them with what? Violence. They're ultimately going to solve them with the firearm. America has over 320-some million people living in it, but they have more guns than actual people. And you know what? We're going to be perfect. Can you get me the population of America? And on the flip side of the coin, I'm going to get the number of guns in America. Go ahead and break it down, brother.
Isaiah 19 and 4, it says, it's like in 3, it says, in the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, but it's based off division. They want you to be divided. They want the system to fall in, I say, collapse on itself. Now it says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And that's going to be your government leaders, that's going to be your elites, right? When they come with the solution of take this Carabin. Right? Because that's really where all this shit is leading. We want to bring this collapse. We want you to go against each other so we can reestablish order out of chaos. Right? But that was it.
It says the U.S. Census Bureau projects the U.S. population will be 333,233,854,000 on January 1st, 2023. This is the annual increase of 1,571,393,000. That's the population of America.
What's the population, brother?
The population is 334 billion.
No, million. That's million.
That's million?
Yes.
So that's 334,233,854 people. Shalaki.
You got your millions, your hundreds of thousands, and your thousands. Yes. So 300 and how many million?
334.
Okay. 334 million people living in America, and the literature that I'm reading, you have over 400 million guns. All right? Guns are not like people. Guns don't die. Guns are made out of metal. They're made out of iron. So they're passed down from family to family. And people just keep on making more guns. And people continue to die. So you have more guns in America than you actually have people in America. And that has to ultimately take you into what? You have more bullets in America than you have food in America. Okay? So the bullets will outlast the actual food that's in America, man. Okay? So it's going to ultimately be nothing but violence that's going to direct where America goes in the time that she's living in right here, right now. And when I say the time that she's living in right here, right now, that's because America doesn't realize that she is in hyperinflation. She's in a status to where meat is not going to meet the demands of the people. Fruit and vegetables are not going to meet the demands of the people. And the list goes on. Okay? The list goes on. So what's going to end up happening with these people? They're going to end up doing things on their own car, in their own way, by their own way, through violence. to get fed. Straight the fuck up. All right? And one of you brothers,
I got it. That's Second Esdras.
break it down. You got it?
Second Esdras 6:24. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies.
And those friends are people that was American citizens that followed the American ways and American laws and statutes and commandments, all right? But one group of citizens might be Democrats, the others might be what? Republicans. One group might be pro-arms, and one might be anti-arms as far as weapons goes. One group may be a
Baptist or a Christian.
See?
Religion.
And these let's go into division. Beautiful, bro.
Right.
Beautiful. One group might be into traditional economics versus crypto economics. And the list goes on. It's a million and one things to argue about in America as an American. Trust me, I'm an American, but I'm not.
Inside joke.
Yeah, real talk. Yeah,
it says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. Because they're not used to, because Americans are not used to all hell breaking loose on American soil.
No.
So when shit hit the fans, they're gonna be like, hold on, in fear, like what's going on? They say, woe that those that go down for Egypt for help. All right, because when they say when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction is gonna befall you people, according to the scriptures. This is gonna happen. And it reads, it says, the springs of the fountain shall stand still, all right, and in the hours they shall not run, all right? In 3 hours they shall not run. You know, because it's going to be all straight to famine, food, bread, and water, all right? You know, because that's what's going to happen, because a lot of people are going to get put to death for the lack of food and bread and water. You see? You got it, brother.
Backing up, it's the famine of the word. And when all these events start taking place, you ain't gonna see men Lord on the streets trying to explain to you what's going on, man. Ain't gonna be nothing to talk about. you just gonna be in it.
That's
right.
Right.
You're gonna be talking about concentration camps. You're gonna be in a concentration camp. Ain't gonna be talking about a famine. You're gonna be in the famine. You're gonna be starving to death, man. And we're gonna be nowhere to be found, Lord willing. Best case scenario.
Right.
They said what you think won't go wrong will go wrong. You got some more on it?
I got one right.
And yes, what can go wrong will go wrong, because you have to understand you're gonna have a smorgasbord of judgments upon America. You're gonna have hyperinflation. You're gonna have famine. You're gonna have mass murders, mass protests, mass armed protests, mass pestilence that has never been seen as far as the world goes. You're gonna have when you can't even get and check into a hospital to get treated because it's gonna be so packed. And the list goes on, man. Like the brother just said, you're gonna go into a time of lawlessness. Right? Just think about a war that a nation that's at war and that's heavily at war. And think if you can get those same
necessities.
Beautiful, brother. See if you can get those same necessities in non-wartime times versus wartime time. And that's the time that America is coming into. And she's not accustomed to it. And that's why her inhabitants are going to take to it so differently. Go ahead, brother.
All right. It's 2 Esdras 15 and 15. Stop 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And we believe, like Tyler Lesson, Trump's indictment, we believe this is going to be the event that really kick off shit, man. Mm-hmm. Like get you people rioting against each other. We said that shit once that next riot come in play, people going to die, blood going to be shed. Everybody nerves bad, everybody unemployed, right, losing their jobs, catching hell. Right, they ain't making enough, hyperinflation going on. Everyone's looking for an answer. They're looking for solutions. Right, everybody on the edge right now. Right, so we believe in this next event gonna be it, even if it comes through the way of an agent provocative. It don't even matter. Right? Now it says, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another." Like the brother's been going into the class wars, financial wars. I say class, financial, gender wars, man. men against women. They didn't set all these things up, and now you about to feel it.
Don't
All right?
forget about race war.
Race war.
Religion war.
Yeah. Real talk. Now it says, one people shall stand to fight against another, and swords in their hands, guns, right? The heavy artillery. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, right? They shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their own power.
So we're coming into a time where your guns are going to do the talking. It's not going to be voting. It's not going to be speaking. It's not going to be speeches. It's not going to be your voting power. It's going to be your power as far as 9mm, 40 caliber, 45 caliber, 50 caliber. You understand? It's going to go into how well you can defend yourself. It's going to basically go into carnality. Let's just be honest. It's going to go into carnality. And that's why this place is going to fall the way that it's going to fall, because the ultimate carnality of all carnality is that that nuke, which is going to come from Russia in less than 30 minutes. As they tell you that their missiles are capable of, but the Bible spoke about these things before the word missile was even what? Developed. And that's why the Bible doesn't use the word missile. Okay? And that's what you people don't realize, and that's what you people don't understand, and that's why you people are going to perish.
That's right. Yep. That says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Like your point up. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Because of your pride, because you don't want to just fall in line. That's really what it's all about. But really, it's directed to the nation of Israel. Everybody going, if you're a heathen, you ain't need to be spoken about, really. Now it says, a man shall have no pity on his neighbor, right? Because that fury already going to, the leaks have been setting up this for a long time. And they got it to where everyone is against each other.
Yeah, because you have what? You have the Democrats, you have the Republicans, you have pro-Trump, pro-Biden, you have pro-Christianity versus everything that's not Christianity. You have pro-dollar versus everything that's against the dollar, and the fucking man, the list goes on. Yeah. It's always a different choice to be made within this land, and these different choices are the different choices, so-called choices, that people are able to make against the government. Okay, and it's all set up at the end of the day.
Gotcha.
The Lord, first and foremost, wants division to be set up because he's in control of everything. But he has to work through what? People. So Esau was under him, under the sun, fulfilling the prophecies of Yahweh Shem Yahushai by giving you different choices, by presenting you different situations, by giving you different alternatives, by giving you guns, by giving you knives, by giving you entertainment that makes you think that you can come and take the things that you want to have. And and we living in those times. Straight the fuck up, man. And it's working. Yeah, bro.
I said it got a term, I think one Greek term called like Hegelian dialectic. It's basically going to the illusion of choice. Red or blue, your left or right. And really, it all leads to the same shit. Back me up.
Hey, that's beautiful.
Back me up. It's Revelations 13 and 11. And it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. All right, that what that represents your Democratic Republic parties that speak like a lamb. It's like a lamb, but it speaks. And it says that he spake as a dragon, and just an illusion of choice. Oh, you could do this, you could do that. You could be a what they call this shit a liberal or Republican. You can have more freedoms with this, but it all leads towards the same thing, man. Like they all lead you to the New World Order. They all lead you to taking that Nicaragua. They all lead you to death at the end of the day. If it ain't of the Lord, it's leading you to death. That says, and he exercises all the power of the first beast before him. And this is no new thing. Right? With the plebeians and the patricians in ancient Rome, it's the same system, the same government. And it says, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, to worship ancient Rome. And you see the customs of ancient Rome in this place. Right? You're just able to do anything in America. Man. All type of freakism. You want to be a zoophilia. You want to sleep with animals, sleep with animals. A woman with a woman, do that. All right, man with a man, do that. All right, there's no boundary of left or there really. For what they say, they got a left and a right, but there's really no boundary of what's left and what's right. Right? Now it says, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire to come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. That's pretty much the point.
And it's beautiful. You have too many choices. A choice is supposed to only give you one or two different alternatives, but you're given so many different choices that you're given a plethora of alternatives. And it's an illusion. When you get the illusion of all these different alternatives, you start to have an entitled feeling about yourself, Americans, all right? And you think that your thoughts, which are vain, actually count and matter, and they don't. The things that they're going to count and matter to is the division, okay? It's going to go into the division that's set up on this place. And Esau, through the power and strength of Yahweh Shai, is going to make your choices equate to a different dividing tool. All right, your choice may be LGBTQ. You're going to have to back it up with a gun. Or your choice may be libertarian, but you're going to have to back it up with a gun. Or your choice may be vegetarian, but you're going to have to back it up with a gun. You see how long that list can go? I'm not going to keep going, but do you see how long that list can go? And these different people are going to back it up with a gun. And it's only so far that a gun goes. A gun equals death. Guns never equal peace. No, guns never bring peace. The nuclear weapon was created because they said that that is the weapon that was going to end all wars and it was going to bring peace because of what it can do. No, you're not the only person that can manufacture these things, so it can't bring peace. Only thing that it can bring is destruction. And the scripture says that if the Lord didn't return, that you devils would destroy this whole place off the face of the earth through your what? Division. Huh? Through your division. But that's why we have to have amongst the body and amongst the world something called divine intervention. And can one of you brothers give me Daniel 12 from the top? Because we all know through prophecy that the men of the Lord are going to be delivered. They're going to be taken care of if they're not ordained to be martyrs. But what you don't realize is the men of the Lord couldn't protect or provide for themselves under the sun because things are going to be just that bad. Statistically, the men of the Lord cannot provide and protect themselves. And that's why Daniel, the 12th chapter, and the first verse on down was written. Bring it out, brother.
This is Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, which is Jacob's trouble. All right? But Jacob's trouble is for the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. But Jacob's trouble, the Lord is going to be with us through it all, and he's going to protect us. All right?
And it also goes into, it's not designed for the elect, but the elect is going to live and have to go through it. Yeah, bro.
It says, such as never was since there was a nation, even to the same time, and at that time, thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right, and that's talking about the elect. All right, that he's gonna have that archangel Michael stand up when all hell break loose. Jacob's trouble. All right, you got the sea hill being implemented. Got the concentration camps. Some brothers gonna be martyrs of the faith for the faith of Yahweh Shai. But we gonna be living through this, and we're gonna need Yahweh Shai to protect us, to live up that hedge of protection for us through this time of trouble.
That's right. Yeah, we talk about these race wars, sedition among men, famine. We're gonna be in the midst of this. All right, it ain't gonna be just happening that we just got raptured some goddamn way. We're in the chariot right now. It ain't gonna be like that. You're gonna be in the middle of these events. That's why we're gonna need the Lord to help us. But you got that.
That's right, bro. That
okay. Now to back up what you just brought out, I want you to get 2 Corinthians 16 and 70 and read it. And you know already? Go ahead, bro.
So 2 Ezra 16 and
Tonight, get into it. Let them read it and you bring it. The parts that you can get, deal with it.
Right, 2 Ezra 16 and 70, right, it says, "For there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord."
Yeah, and that's talking about the elect men, the ones that's on the highways and byways signing crime of the abominations that's being done over here in this wicked kingdom. All right, that's praying, fasting. All right, that's calling on the name of the Lord is truth and sincerity. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
That's right.
You got it.
Backing up, brother, up, I say with the Trump shit, they really just preparing to unite the world against a common enemy. That common enemy is going to be us, bro.
That's right.
Right? They unite the whole world to come against us. Right? Because everybody had a level of respect for Trump. Even the Russians, he was shaking their head, well, you know, they do that shit, but you know, he was in so-called good cases with the Russians. Yeah, the propaganda. Right? But they all uniting at that front, and really all to come against us. Right? No matter what illusion you might see, I say Democrat versus Republican, these people against them. Got people that's pro, if I can say that word, pro-abortion against, you know,
you just said a mouthful. And ultimately, what's going to end up happening with the vision that the Lord put upon the earth is these people are going to be able to push their differences aside to come against who?
The men of the Lord.
When you go to Revelation, when you go to 2 Ezra, the 13th chapter, these people met from all of these different parts of the world to kill one another. But when Yahweh Bashim showed himself upon the face of the earth, they put their differences aside to try to attack him. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, they couldn't do it, but you have to realize no matter what these people's differences and disagreements are, they will push those to the side to deal with the truth, to deal with the men of the truth. And to say the men of the truth is to say the men of the Lord. Okay? So we're coming into a time where the world is going to attack you, Jake. The world is going to set you up and give you different titles and give you different names of different things that's not who you are. They're going to call you killers. They're going to call you terrorists. They're going to call you pedophiles. They're going to call, yes, all of these different things, man. And they're not even going to like one another when they're doing these things. But they're going to be like, you know what? Before we deal with each other, let's deal with this common enemy. And it's ultimately going to come down to the men of the Lord or a common enemy to the enemies of their enemies. Right? The Egyptians, well, I'm not going to say the Egyptians, the Americans and the Russians, as much as they hate each other, they're going to put their differences to the side to fight the men of the Lord. You hear that? And America is going to be destroyed at this point. They're still going to put their differences aside to fight the men of the Lord. And those and these things is what the Lord is warning us about when he's saying the different trains of thought, the different trains of belief, the different philosophies. I'm talking about all of these things, man. Even if something as far as voting, all of these things are going to be put to the test. They're going to turn on you, and they're going to turn against you in unison to one another. This is you are going to be their glue to stick together. Go ahead, brother.
This is 16 and 71. It says, "They shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord." Yeah, how about Shemashah?
Yeah, I'm going to get that.
Madmen sparing none. They're going to be aiming for everybody. Ultimately, Esau trying to get them Georgia guys don't fulfill. He really don't give a fuck about an American in general. Esau don't care. The elites don't care. All right, but nonetheless, they're gonna be aiming for us. I say high priority targets. Everybody a target. We're gonna be the high priority targets.
And the reason that the elites don't care about these different titles is because they make these different titles in the name of keeping their power. They're not relegated and just set in a title. These are the elites. They can call themselves what they want to call themselves, and they can call you what they want you to be labeled as. And they don't have to agree with you because they are what you call the puppeteers, right?
Yeah.
These are the people that's causing the division under the sun. Even though Yahweh Shai is actually doing it, they think that they're taking credit for these things, and they think that they're guiding the world into a new place that's going to take them into new frontiers, to where that they can drop the population down to 500,000, upon the whole world, to where they can fight the Lord. They can fight chariots, what the world call UFOs, and prevail. You see, it's an illusion. It's an illusion, and the people are going to catch wind that it's an illusion, and that's what's going to make this great division so much more worth than any other time in history. Because in this great division, you're also going to have what, Akim? You're going to have a great influx. A lot of this great division is going to bring forth the influx to the house of David. See? So everything that's done under the earth is done for the power and it's done for the glory of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You're going to have people from IUIC, ISUPK, and all these other different camps jump ship in the midst of this great division. Because ain't nothing like seeing is believing. When they start to see what the actual see help is, what the actual Revelation 13th and 16th chapter is, when they see what starvation is versus we still doing it like we've been doing it prior to all these different things, when they see prophecy fulfilling itself, they're going to fall in, man. And they're going to understand why the Lord gave people so many different options just to lead to one truth. Because the majority of people are going to die in this decision-making process. Huh? All right. Oh, you can go to brother. One of you brothers, since we bring in what we're bringing up. Matter of fact,
going right.
Simple and plain. Huh? You can bring yours out, and I'm gonna hold one after that. Huh? Bring it out and break it down.
I just saw the Psalms 110 and 3. Outside of verse 2, Psalm 110 and 2, it says, "The Lord shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thou in the midst of thine enemies. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power."
Because they're going to see the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua being actually executed. They're going to see the servants of Yahweh Shem Yahushua being fed, being given water, being given wow.
It's like you, brother.
Hey, man, it's a crazy time we living in, man. I ain't lying. Nah, it's a crazy time that we fucking living in. Nah. And it's beautiful, man. Everybody is going to try to position themselves to come against the men of the Lord. They're going to come together in the name of doctrines that don't even make sense and don't even coagulate together. They're going to come together in the name of prophecies. They're going to come together in the name of different decrees that don't even add and come together just to go against them.
The men of the Lord.
The men of the Lord. They're going to think they're doing something. But guess what? The Lord is going to show them that they're off because they're going to be hungry. They're going to be thirsty. They're not going to be able to take care of themselves. They're not going to be able to do things that a man is supposed to do for himself. But they're going to be together talking about those guys are wrong. You understand? And the Lord is going to prove to the world who his elect are, who his servants are. Stay in that second Ezra, 16th chapter, around that 71.
Okay, I was right there. I just saw 2 Ezra 16 and 71. I said, "They shall be like mad men, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord."
And that's the world. That's what the world is going to be doing. Guess who else is going to be doing it outside of the world? Guys that have different trains of thought, guys that have different religious beliefs. It's going to be people that's so-called in the truth, but it's going to have different prophetical interpretations of what the Bible has to say. And they're not going to think that they're wrong because they think they're going to be giving up and telling and persecuting people that's saying something opposite to them. But they don't realize that they're going to be utilizing Esau to take down the men of the Lord. And if you're spiritual, you don't need Esau to do anything for you. Right? These times we're coming into it. You're going to have bug outs coming together, having super, just like we have unity camps. They're going to be having unity bug out camps. And you know what's so fucked up about those unity bug out camps? They have different beliefs. They have different doctrines. but they're going to be able to cast those things to the side because they hate the Lord so much, and they hate the fact that they were wrong in the decisions that they made when they were amongst the men of the Lord, or trying to defend themselves against the men of the Lord. Okay? And it's no different than 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter, where the world's armies are going to put their differences to the side to fight the Lord himself. Right? The world's different so-called spiritual leaders, they're going to put their disagreements to the side to come together against the men of the Lord. But they have different beliefs. So it can't stand. Bring it out, bring out your precept and bring it down.
This is back up what you said. This is second Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship have unrighteousness and unrighteousness, for righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion have light with darkness? So if they're not preaching, they say, woe unto them that preach not this gospel, 100% truth. All right, so you should not be equally yoked with someone that have a different doctrine. If they're not coming in the name of Yahweh and preaching the gospel that was taught by the elders, apostles, the great minister on down to the least, you're not supposed to be yoked with the brothers. All right, that's that variance that the Lord Yahweh was speaking about. All right, you're gonna have men that's gonna come with other doctrines, false prophets that's gonna be among you. All right, that's what the Bible speaks of. So this is what's going on. This is the time we're in. We're in the last second hours, days, and times. All right, we in the last days, so we almost out of here because you see that the prophecy that was spoke of in the scriptures. All right, you can see them popping out of the book each day. Each day, you wake up in the morning, get your phone, you see the news feed. All right, you got men coming up against this blessed gospel. All right, so you know we at the end. You see him right around the corner. All right, you got it, brother.
That's Matthew 24, and I get 22. 21, I started 21. Which this chapter going into 70 AD, but we're likening it unto these times. I said, no new thing under the sun. I says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. That's Jacob's trouble. And it says, and except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. But this point right here, it says, but in those times when we know we have to end, shit gonna be about to hit the fan. I say, definitely not 1 in 10. When the economy collapses, that's when the Lord gonna search the Jerusalem with candles. Are you gonna see which men are really about this and which men aren't? And it says, then if any man shall say unto you, lo, he is a Mashiach, or there, believe him not, for there shall rise a false Mashiach, right? And false prophets, it shall shew great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Right? So false prophets are going to be on the rise in these times. The ultimate false prophet being Esau Edom. Okay, all right, but you got false prophets under that. Right? I say those that do the will of their father, the devil. Right? They ain't going to be calling themselves Edomites and this, that, and the third, but they're going to be damn near doing the same thing. Right? John 16th chapter. And they're gonna be doing the will of they think they do Lord's service. Right? They're gonna be the same men turning us in, getting us hemmed up because they ain't convinced that we men of the Lord. Right? Lord willing, we are men of the Lord. Right, but that was it. Yeah.
And the Lord, I'm gonna straight up say this, man. Us as ambassadors of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and we're just servants of the Lord, the anger that goes through our veins, it does not equate to the anger that Yahweh Shem Yahushua feels and is going to ultimately judge when he gets his hand on you people, man. Because like I said, man, you're going to have nations like America and Russia and Ukraine that's going to put their differences to the side to fight the men of the Lord, to fight the Lord, right? To fight the actual Lord. So how much more you're going to have bug outs and bug out camps that come together to fight against this truth. And they're going to think that they're right. And they're going to look like a bunch of fools because their doctrine don't even add up, man. Okay? A bunch of niggas that come against the truth. And that should actually give the men of the Lord more confidence. More confidence for you, brother. More confidence and to keep on teaching and pushing because you know what you're dealing with is true. When everybody outside of your doctrine and outside of this real truth has to come together to try to put a dent in it, and it's untenable, It should make you really think, man. Okay? It should make you really think. And these guys have a lot to answer for at the end of the day, man. Oh, man, these guys have a lot to answer for. The Lord is going to fuck them up, man. The Lord ultimately might bring some of them out of that bug out shit. Maybe 1 or 2 guys. Okay? Who are we to judge? But we can tell you this. When you're teaching against the Lord, when you're doing things against the Lord is going to come against you and he's going to fuck you up, man. He's going to fuck you up, man. So be careful in the things that you're doing. And he will wake you up if you are part of that number, even in the midst of these things. We could get that. One of y'all brothers got something?
Yeah, no.
Bring it on.
It's 1 Corinthians 3, and I started at 10. All right, now it says, according to the grace of Yahweh, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation. So the foundation been already laid.
Get into that foundation. Not scripturally speaking, man. Go ahead, brother.
And it says, and another buildeth thereon, right? Which were those men built upon the already laid foundation. Right?
Okay, we're telling you who the table of nations are, who the 12 tribes are. Okay, we're telling you the breakdowns. We're giving you how to break down these different books that's meaty. Revelation, Daniel. Okay, we're telling you who's who and what's not. And then you're gonna have other camps or other guys that came from within the body and decided to run amok. And they're gonna bring you things to confuse the babies, because they're not gonna confuse the teachers. The teachers are gonna keep on teaching, and we're gonna keep doing what the fuck we're doing. God damn it! All right, but you're gonna put yourself into a position where you're gonna confuse the babies that's caught within these things, and you're also gonna show yourself to be fools because the Lord is gonna show Himself to be true. All right. Before you finish that off, let me get one scripture for me. Baba Kashak, can you give me Acts 5:29?
The book of Acts, chapter 5, and verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey Yahweh rather than men.
So we don't give a goddamn what men say. We don't give a goddamn what men think. We care about what the scriptures say and what the breakdowns of those scriptures entail. All right? We care about this truth. We don't care about how many people come together against the men of the Lord, because you're going to make yourselves look stupid. And the Lord is going to ultimately show you people to be liars, and He's going to start killing you motherfuckers. Let's just be real. He is. He's going to start judging you niggas. And guess what the men of the Lord are going to be doing after that? The same thing that we're doing right here, right now. Operate this out. We part of that number. Your little shenanigans, your little what you call that shit? When people come together, trying to come again. Your little camaraderies, that shit don't mean nothing to the Lord, man. At the end of the day, the truth is the truth, and a lie is a lie. We don't care who you think you are. We don't care who you think you're leading. At the end of the day, the truth is the truth, and a lie is a lie. If a bunch of liars get together, guess what? It doesn't make the lie any stronger. To me, it just makes the lie bigger than what it is, man. And the Lord is going to prove who He is. You keep on reading that.
Yes, Go
to 30. Let me see what 30 says.
It says, Acts 5:30 says, the power of our Father raised up Yahushua, whom He slew on and hanged on a tree.
At the end of the day, it's all about Yahushua and His message, man. I don't care how many niggas come together. I don't care how many niggas come in union, how many niggas come in unity in lives. You're no different than the Christian pastor, right? Led by a butthurt ass nigga that knew the truth, man. People are gonna be judged, man. Hey, before I turn this back over to this brother, give me 2 Corinthians 15:4. And I'm gonna let this brother get it after that. For more reason than one.
2 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 4. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness.
So all of these different camps that's off, all of these different doctrines that's off, all of these different niggas that's coming together in the name of trying to take down great millstone, to take down the truth, the Lord is going to kill you. We don't have to do anything in these times that we living in. We're just mortal men. We're fucking slaves. And we'll straight up tell you to your face, we are slaves. We have no power. We are worms. But the Lord is going to stand up because we've seen the Lord stand up throughout our walk. We've seen it with our own 2 eyes. So you niggas can keep on nigging out and upping each other and nigger them. And the Lord is going to destroy you people. And he's going to destroy some of you to the point where some of you later on there and realize that you were wrong and you're going to come back home. I'm telling you, man, through the scriptures, man. I know what I believe, man. I know what I believe in is real, and I know what I believe in is going to be bagged up and it's going to be proven by things that man can't see, hear, and comprehend. Go ahead, I got it, brother.
I just it's 1 Corinthians 3:10 from the middle. It says, I have laid the foundation. Like the brother's going into that foundation is Yahweh Shai now. Right? So it says, and another buildeth thereon. Right? We're those men, the brothers coming after. We got these breakdowns to understand that we're the ones building thereon. And it says, but let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. Right? But you got to take heed how you building. Are you really building or are you tearing down? What type of bricks are you putting in the house? What type of 2x4? Your 2x4 rotted out. All right, do you need paint on that wall? It's like, what are you doing? All right, but you're putting more than need. You're either doing too much, you ain't doing enough. All right, for the building of the Lord's house. It says, for other foundation can no man lay than that it is laid, which is Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. Now, if any man build upon this foundation, gold, silver, precious stones, right, which that's the elect, right, with those lively stones, that gold, that silver, right? It says wood, hay, stubble, and that's those who ain't gonna buy it, man. That's those who ain't gonna last. Right? That's the men who ain't gonna be able to hold it down. And it says, every man's work shall be made manifest, right? For the day shall declare it, right? What day is that talking about? Jacob's trouble. At the time that we're entering into right now, that it's gonna declare who really is about this, who really believes in Yahweh Shai, who really believes in walking the walk and talking the talk, who really just on some other shit, bro. Right? The Lord gonna make it manifest. Right? And unfortunately, it's gonna be through killing a lot of y'all, bro.
Death by pain.
Yeah, death by pain. And it says, right? It says that they shall declare it because it shall be revealed by fire. Right? That same fire that's gonna make the men of the Lord is gonna be that same fire that's gonna break the men that ain't the men of the Lord. Right? And it says, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. What have you been doing? Right? Why were you teaching? What was your motive behind teaching? Right? Did you really want to build, or was it always a personal shit for you? You just want to look deep in the sight of men. Right? The Lord gonna search these things out. He's gonna expose you. He's gonna expose you, then he's gonna kill you. Right? Your best case scenario is hoping you get back in your right mind, man.
Right, and it's not far off to get into your right mind. Right? We know who we working for. We know who used to work for the men. We used to work for Yahweh Shai. So and look, at the end of the day, when the Lord calls us worms, that's what we are. We're worms. A worm doesn't defend itself. A worm can't defend itself. All right? Y'all agree with that? But these worms that the Lord is talking about, they will be defended, and the message that they're bringing out will also be defended as well. So anybody that's coming against these worms, they can't do anything about what's going on right now on the world stage. We can't do anything about what's going on. But you're going to be found out for who you are, and these worms are going to be defended and found out who they are. And ultimately, according to prophecy, these worms are going to be turned into something other than worms. These worms are going to be provided with hands, nails, and teeth. God damn it. And until that day comes, we're going to continue to be worms, and we're just going to teach. And we're just going to be in the prophecy, in the spirit of prophecy. And the spirit of prophecy tells us what? You're going to be found out for who you are not. And we're going to be found out for who we are, man. God damn it. You can't make us angry with the things that you do. Motherfucker keep on saying that 4 + 4 = 20. Man, that shouldn't upset you. It should and it shouldn't. Because at the end of the day, the Lord is going to show you what 4 + 4 equals. Or what 144 + 4 equals. Or whatever. The times we're coming into, man. We're just going to teach them. We're going to keep on doing our thing. We're going to keep on serving the Lord. We're just going to wait on the Lord to show up. One of y'all brothers, if y'all want to, go to the 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter. Or y'all get whatever y'all
I
got.
got one
I'll
of
finish this
Go
one.
ahead,
yeah,
brother.
go ahead.
Give what you want.
Next verse is 1 Corinthians 13:14 to finish it off. Right? 13 and 13 from the middle. Because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive reward. So we hope to do that gold, that silver, those precious stones. But it says, if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved. Right? We're gonna have things in this life, but that's really going into something else. But my Lord explained.
Taking
Yeah,
L's.
you're gonna be taking L's. You're gonna have things that you can build in this life that you also gonna lose, but you ain't gonna lose your life. Right? At least that's the idea. It says, but he himself shall be saved, yet so is by fire. But nonetheless, we all going through that same process. I just don't reveal who the Lord's dealing with, who it ain't, and who he ain't. It's like, you got that.
This Deuteronomy 18 and 20. It says, but the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And that goes to that variance, because you have the false prophet that's speaking, coming and saying they speaking, they coming and saying they speaking in the name of Yahweh Bashim Abushai, but they speaking in their own belly. All right, you know, it just go on and on and on. So it's a telltale sign, all right, that you see we're at the last second days and times. All right, because you have a lot of false prophets out there. All right, coming in the name of Yahweh Shai, Bashim Yahushai, but the doctrine is off. All right, and you have some that's not coming in the name of Yahweh Shai, teaching other doctrines, leading the sheep to slaughter. All right, and that blood of the bitch is going to be on that false prophet hands. That varies. All right, the Lord is shifting out. He's shifting out his men. All right, and he's shifting out the one that's the so-called saying they come in the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, getting shifted out to the left. You got it, brother.
Back in both y'all brothers. Second, it was 9, and I started at 20. It says, and I saw, back y'all brother, bro. And it says, and I saw and spared it greatly, right, and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. That's the elect. All right, we being separated from the I ain't gonna say it like that, but the common riffraff. Man. It's obvious who the Lord dealing with, who he ain't. Man. It's obvious, bro. All right, because that's a story for another time, but I keep going. But it says, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept in my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect. Right, with great labor has the Lord built this building, man, getting buzz on levels. Right, and it's being made manifest who on that level, who ain't. And we're about to make it real manifest when these miracles start getting done, man. Right. When people really start getting healed, when people really start getting the blind start getting healed, the lame start walking again, that's when the Lord really gonna make it manifest. And it says, all right, let the multitude perish then, right, which was born in vain, but there are those that were born in vain, born to I say can't get right, and they were made to be off. Right, just say nature. It says, and let my grape be kept in my plant for with great labor.
All right, so this is not about groups. This is not about different doctrines. This is about the truth. So the Lord is straight up telling you, man, you have grapevines upon grapevines upon grapevines. But the only thing that he's concerned about is that grape within those clusters, man. The truth. The guys that's getting the less amount of views. The guys that's getting the less amount of attention. Because the truth is going to be hitting in the last time, days, seconds that we're living in, right? So in the end is when the men of the Lord are going to be justified. And before the end is when you fakes are going to be found out to be fraudulent, okay? You ain't no different than some scammers, man. You're scammers. You're liars. You're butthurt niggas because judgments didn't go the way that you wanted it to go, and since it didn't go your way, now you want to be what? A scoffer. You a nigga. You a nigga. And you're wrong. All right? You're wrong. At the end of the day, you're wrong. You're going to be proven to be wrong. And I'm going to just say this. Lord have mercy on you, man. Lord have mercy on you, man.
They just had, go back into the topic, they had that spirit of variance on them, right? The house divided.
The spirit of Esau.
Yeah, the spirit of Esau.
And the spirit of a butt-hurt bitch. The spirit of a woman. When somebody gets judgment that they or you know what? Like brother say, we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that. Let's keep it on with this. Right, bro.
Right, and I got one right here. 2 Ezra 16 and 72. Just continue off from the last. It says, "For they shall waste your house and take away their goods and cast them out of the house." It's talking about the Lord, but this is the point right here. It says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire."
The Lord is going to let the people know who he's dealing with by the things that he puts them through and by the things that he doesn't even allow them to go through, man. Right? You're going to know the men of the Lord by the prophecies that they bring out. You're going to know them by the different breakdowns. You're going to know them by the different, basically, just go back to the breakdowns. Go back to prophecy. You're going to know them by the prophecies, man. Testimony. The prophecies and the testimonies. At the end of the day, you can't get around it. And you're going to know them by how the Lord is dealing with them. Straight up. Because 1,000 different followers and 1,000 different fruit does not make you a man of the Lord. Because Christianity has more fruit than anybody in this truth. Does it make them right? No. Bring out your precept and break it down, brother.
I didn't know what the brother the righteous brought out. This is Proverbs 3 and 12. From whom the Lord Yahweh lovingly corrected, even as a father the son, in whom he delighted. And that goes to being tried, being tried as gold in the fire. All right. So this is pure example. This scripture going into where it said the Lord is going to. Then you shall know who is the Lord chosen. All right. Because the Lord is right now. We've been chastised and we've been chastised and being corrected. All right, because we are the apples of the Lord's eye. All right, we are the sons of the Most High. You see?
Then when you got groups of people that's coming to get together in the name of anti-great millstone, it lets you know that it's not about, for them anyway, it's not about the message. It's actually about the people. Because these same groups of people could be going against Nathaniel, which has a bigger following than the elders. You feel me? It could be going against ISUPK. It'd be going against Wi-Fi, you know, who I like to call Wi-Fi, Adam Abbott and them, but it's not. It's going against the actual men of the Lord. And we don't got to get into detail about these things. We know what's going on. Everybody that's into this thing, they understand what's going on. We don't have to get into direct details. We're just going to keep on doing what? We're going to keep on teaching. We're going to keep on prophesying until the Lord pulls our servant asses off of the highways and the byways, man. We just servants. We're ambassadors. That's all we are. This is not our movie. This is not our movie. We're just a part of a movie that's bigger than all of us. The things that the true men of the Lord are pushing and teaching and believing with faith, it's bigger than them. It's not our movie. We didn't write it and we didn't direct it. We're just a part of it, and we're glad to be a part of it. And we just want time to go by so that people can see who's who and who's not. And at the end of the day, we're going to give credit to the person that we're still giving credit to right here and right now. Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, man. All right? That's it. Go ahead, brother. You got some more?
Okay, I can't read that. All right, it says, then, 2 Ezra 16:73. Okay, it says, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as the gold in the fire. So that fire gonna come upon the whole nation. Right? These events that you see and take place, that's really all this shit building to. Building to the persecution. That's these like going into another camp. They don't understand that this persecution comes upon them too. As long as you calling yourself an Israelite, you're gonna be getting pressed as well. That's what this is all leading.
With that off-ass shit you're talking about, you're still gonna get pressed. You're still gonna get judged. But you're not gonna be taken care of. You're not gonna have that hedge of protection that you've been taught about from your original teachers. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "Hear, O ye my beloved, saith the Lord. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be not afraid, neither doubt." What the scripture say, let not the incredulity of those of them around you trouble you. Roughly paraphrase. Don't let anybody disbelief trouble you, man. some other people gonna be on some other shit. Like majority of our families, you gonna have so-called men that call themselves Israelites. They're gonna be on other shit. Our families gonna be on other shit. We are against the world in totality. Like your brother started off going in all these different mindsets. We're against all those mindsets.
And this goes back to division. What we talking about is going strictly into division. Even the thing that we ran into after we started teaching, this little piece of it goes into division. And that's and you know what? It pisses us off to see certain guys do certain things. But guess what the Lord doing when he see that division? He's smiling. You know why? Because he understands prophecy. And he has a better understanding than us, and he doesn't get in his feelings. He doesn't have feelings to get into. He don't get in his feelings. Well, I'm not going to say that. But he understands, and he limits how he gets into his feelings as far as prophecies coming in the past. We happy. We have to be happy that certain things are happening and certain people are coming together, just like certain nations are going to come together against Yahweh. We have to be happy that these things are happening because it's showing us what? That this truth that we believe in is true and it's faithful. And we need to keep on believing in this thing until people that actually have real power start coming against us and persecuting us, because these niggas that's coming against us and persecuting us, they have no power. They're slaves and they're worms just like us. Okay?
He said, be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide. It says, in the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord Yahweh. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Right? That's pretty much it.
Well, Lord willing, it was edified. Oh, go ahead, bro.
You break down. It says this Exodus 2, it's like Exodus 23:2. And it says, thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
Wow.
Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
And and you have a multitude, all right, that wicked multitude that's leading the people astray. So we have to follow this word, this truth. Yahweh Bashim Abishai. All right, we can't follow the precepts of men. We follow this word, this doctrine. All right, starting with the apostles, the elders, the great ministers, on down to the least. That's pushing 100% truth. Our teachers. All right, you got it, brother.
All right, so with that, hopefully that final lesson on anybody giving him honor and praises to.
Who? Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem HaRakakadash.
Lamont said it was impossible for a millstone to rule and teach well, peace and blessings. But all from faithful elect cross four corners, living and preaching the truth to the best that building in the city. Shalom.
Shalom. Abba Ball.
Kwame Yashala.
Kwame Yashala. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Khan, I can.